Why is everything so damn expensive? 4 years ago, my rent was $1,200 a month at a luxury apartment complex. It is now $2,100, not even including utilities. I went to the grocery.
See how the prices double? You pay twice as much for something, but things don't get twice as better. This is unsustainable. And at this point, it has come to a point where even boomers are becoming homeless, so they cannot call us lazy anymore.
Store yesterday, right? And got 3 bags of chips, some ground turkey, and some vegetables. And it was $67! What? My car insurance from 4 years ago until now, with no tickets, no wrecks, no nothing on my driver's record, has gone from $130 to $240 per month! 3 years.
Yes, and has his salary doubled? No, it has not. It has not. This is insane because, like, millennials have it bad, but millennials didn't have it as bad as Gen Z has at the same age. Not even close. Because even asking for having something to live with is too much. Having a roof over your head is too much. Having something to eat is too much to ask for. They will tell you, hey, why are you using plastic straws somewhere? Like, are you insane? Are boomers insane?
Ago, my electric bill was averaging $45. Now it's averaging $125. You go and get a tank of gas once a week, and you're dropping $70. I mean, a guy can't even buy a can.
See, and now people are complaining about the car industry crashing because nobody can afford cars anymore. Nobody can afford cars. Like, people don't know how the culture of Need for Speed Underground 2, the culture of Pimp My Ride, the culture of Fast and the Furious actually came to be. It's because the MSRP of a Supra was like 30K back in the day. It was affordable. Now you cannot even dream of getting that same car from before. It's 100K at least. This is how the car industry died.
A dip for less than $8. $8 for a can of dip? What the fuck is going on? Why is...
So when are we going to talk about that the economy in the US is so bad that companies don't even want to hire, like, us in the US anymore? Everyone's like, oh, well, layoffs are down from what they were at, like, X time last year.
Yo, listen, I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that. When they fake the data. They're faking the data. Listen to me. When they tell you things have gone down since last year, that doesn't mean last year was good. That also doesn't mean that the year before was good. Let me explain to you this way. What if inflation was up 9% 2 years ago? And now it's 5% last year. Last year they would tell you, oh, but it's gone down, but the inflation from before, it still counts because they only compare it to last year. So when they say prices have risen only 5%, but the last year before was 5%, and the last year was 5%, it's 15%. This is how they fake the data.
It's like, yeah, they're outsourcing. There's less of us to lay off. They're outsourcing to other countries. I've literally been told that US employees, like by companies, I've been told by people at specific companies that US employees are too expensive to hire and keep right now. So, like, what are we gonna...
Yes, and the question is, for those companies that have a lot of money, when is it enough? When do you have enough money for you to stop laying people off? The truth is that there is not such thing as enough money to them. Like, listen, these billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they are the richest people on the planet and they're still greedy. They still underpay the people. They still lay off 80% of the employees. So when is it enough? When do you have enough? There is no such thing as enough, and this is a flaw in capitalism.
do about that, guys? Like, as far as I'm aware, I need money to stay alive. So what are we gonna do about that? I have 2 kids.
And asking for something to be alive with is too much to ask for. You're using plastic straws at McDonald's. Are you entitled or what?
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
We're not. Truth of the matter, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck with credit card debt. I know people who are legitimately putting gas and groceries on credit cards just.
Oh, sorry to stop it so early, but that's a real bad cycle to get out of. Like it's extremely difficult. Like when you're just in credit card debt and every month you expect the credit card debt to be paid off, at some point you get deep into a hole where you cannot come out of it. It's really difficult to come out of that. I'm inside this hole right now. It's so difficult.
So that they can get back and forth to work. I believe that this is what most people are now calling the silent depression. $100 has become the new $20 and it's ridiculous, but the best thing about it is that people have shifted their core values. Look at this app alone and all the videos of all the retailers on Black Friday that nobody was there. They just don't care anymore. People are realizing that if it doesn't bring value into my life, then I don't need it. Why?
Yes, exactly. And something to add to his point is the fact that what people promised you before was by far more than now. Like, okay, you are an electrician. You might be working hard, but you have a house, but you have children and a wife every day, which is not even guaranteed nowadays, because I don't want to get into that. But what are you promised at this point? If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're gonna have nothing by the time you're retired. So this is the real problem. This is the real problem. This is the reason people don't want to work anymore. Because what for? What are you working for? Kendrick Lamar.
While I don't get political on this app, you're having people on both sides of the aisles going, yeah, this kind of sucks. Right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. It's the same bird. And now so many Americans are going, I truly just, I don't care. I think it's woken a lot of people up to the idea of why are we funding things that we don't care about when.
Exactly. And this is in both sides of the fence should be ashamed. Whether you vote Kamala or Trump, they are still going to be funding wars. So remember when Tupac Shakur said they got money for wars but they cannot feed the poor. This has been true for like since we were alive. We don't know anything else.
All of us right here are struggling. It's changed people's attitude in the workforce to where a job is just a job. You used to be very loyal to a job, but they've seen that there's no employee loyalty because there's no employer loyalty. People aren't putting up with toxic bosses anymore. You're either going to treat me right or I'm going to leave, because there's tons of companies that are hiring. Because
yes, because why should I stay? Why should I be abused? Like what for? What am I being abused for? Because if I own a house and I'm building that house, so I might say, okay, you know what? I'm going to get through this one for the next 5 years. I'm going to be abused for the next 5 years, and I don't care. But if you don't have anything and you live paycheck to paycheck, what are you getting abused for? I mean, you need a return on investment at least. I'm giving you my money, I'm giving you my time, but what for?
nobody can find help. People just don't trust the system anymore, and they're starting to focus on what matters the most. Most people are out here making more money than they ever have and realizing that it's not going anywhere. So they're just not spending it. And what has made a lot of people turn their back on the system is that now they somehow either make too much or not enough money to qualify for the government assistance that they've been paying into their entire life. There are people out there who can't afford to buy the groceries, but they make too much money to get the food stamps. A lot of people are out here calling it the depression. I like to call it the awakening. People are just realizing how much they can get done on their own.
Exactly. This is why so many people are thriving on YouTube. This is why people are opening up their own businesses, because it's not worth it. Like I believe that sometimes you are in a golden time, in a golden age, and you don't even know. And we might have reached the golden age of working. Working might not be worth it anymore, so we're gonna have to find something else. Just like I spoke about Pimp My Ride back in the day, we didn't know that was the golden age. Like rap music in the 90s, they didn't know they were in the golden age. And the problem in this time is how do we get out of this one? Because this is difficult. This is not going to be an easy task. And the elite is not going to help you.
That they don't need the government to hold their hand. So, to go back to your question, how are people making it? Financially, I don't really know. But I'm very grateful that people are starting to look for answers.
How?
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better. This guy, subscribe to him. Grayso Magaha Comedy.
I know the economy is literal shit right now, but why does everything have to just keep getting so expensive and like literally so unaffordable for so many people? It's ridiculous. I get my nails done. Yes, I took some time off. Yes, it is like a luxury that I can afford to get my nails done.
But it's not a luxury. It's not. This is not a luxury. To get your nails done is not a luxury. Luxury is having a Rolex. Getting your hair done, getting your nail done, like this is not luxury. This is the problem is we are just programmed to think that's luxury at this point. We get our hair done nowadays, and that's like too much to ask for. Like we're not asking for much. We are not asking for much. Probably if you travel back in the time and you tell your dad and your mother, damn, that's luxury. You did your hair. They would probably think you're insane.
But it's getting to the point that it's like a little bit crazy. Like $85 to get French tips. Like I don't get a manicure. I don't get anything crazy. $85. Like what is happening? I know things have to like go up in price, you know, with whatever. But like inflation, are you kidding me? It should not be.
But the thing about inflation is it cannot be inflation. It cannot be inflation. Because if it was inflation, it would be, how are things doubling but it's inflation? If you look at the statistics, inflation is like 4% per year, 6% every year. Like it's not that high for it to double like this.
This bad. Even with like apartments, everybody wants to increase apartments and the rent. You're kidding. Nobody can afford it. My salary does not increase just because you want to increase rent. I know the economy.
Exactly. She said it. She said it. She said it perfectly. Just because the rent is higher doesn't mean I get more money. I don't know how they manage to do it. In a lot of countries, it's illegal to do. It's illegal to raise the rent. But most countries are greedy. And what's even worse is people even defend these things. They defend it. They bow down to the elite. But at least people are waking up. The more people struggle, which is going to be increasingly, the more people are going to stand up to this. The problem is that those who can change it, they don't have the will to change it because they profit from this. So if they double the prices, they get double the money. It's just what's happening. And the government wants to collect taxes. So if the prices are higher, they get a higher percentage of it. This is how it works. So if you're asking yourself how they able to send billions to you know what countries, this is how. We are paying for it. We are paying for it.